I was never raised religious, so I've been a receiver since I was about 8 of the specific brands of discrimination that the Bible and Christianity encourage good people to take part in against non-believers. It all started when a kid asked me before school one day if I believed in God. I said no, and he responded with spitting anger, but had no way to prove the crazy things he was claiming. This was my first taste of the special kind of crazy required by a religion to defend itself. He just had magic stories from a long time ago of raising the dead. And besides knowing that dead is dead, I already knew not all long time ago stories are real, from Mom reading me Cinderella to bed almost every night as a kid. At my insistence. What can I say? We loved all the very memorable characters and voices Mom would do. The mice, the sisters, the fairy godmother, the transformation magic we all wished we could have. We learned from being read those stories and being allowed to ask questions that many long time ago stories are just fairy tales, fiction, myth, or legend, not always true. Plus the fact that magic doesn't happen in real life, either. But that doesn't matter. The natural universe is amazing enough without needing it. But it's still fun to make believe these things, to dream and wish and write stories about them. Wishing becomes entertainment because others tend to wish for some of the same basic things. It's why the very first job I could figure out I really wanted to be was a writer-illustrator. Someone taught me how to spell the word illustrator when I was 5, and I felt like a genius, but I was always pretty average in school. A job where I could create the unrealistic, magical universe that I wished I lived in, a reality I had the power to manipulate, like we all wished we could at some point. But real, rent-paying reality has told me that the world isn't financially kind to artists, so I never quit my day job, so to speak. If I could get rich off my artwork, I would not be working. At all. I can understand those people who go crazy if they're not working. Maybe they have more things to try to distract themselves from thinking about, to give themselves busy work or something. I don't know. But I accept that I can't make a living with my artwork, so I do what I can for fun and for me. Besides, I like the idea that my steam-boosting BBW pinups are freely available for everyone to see and share and print and hang and adapt and edit if they want. And most importantly, to get good feelings from, without that slimy feeling of someone's hand always reaching for their wallet. Anyway, back to the storytelling. So, I thank my parents for choosing not to delude me about magic and fairy tales and long time ago stories. I could have just been as gullible as that spitting angry kid in school and sounding like a fool, yelling about stories for which I could never possibly have been a witness, claiming truth about magic events that I already knew were impossible in this reality at 8 years old. If my parents had decided to lie to me instead. What are parents teaching kids these days? Spirituality is like the plastic cover you need to remove to get to the toy representing life you've been trying to enjoy all along. How can you find all the fun things and learn how to not hurt people in the process? Every life lesson has come down to that. If all you're doing is staring at life from a distance, not allowed to touch it. Like religion makes people. Religion wants for people. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for raising me with a firm hand on reality, and fewer magical delusions or plastic covers, to stretch an analogy, which only allowed me to appreciate our place in the universe 100 times over, because I always felt a part of it and was not forced to believe that I'm just waiting for another life after I die. Only the most foolish could ever believe that. But exceptions must be made for Santa and the Easter Bunny, of course. But who could blame a parent for choosing to share the fun magic ghosts? I'm using the word ghost as a general term for all spiritual beings in this conversation, who always seem to like being invisible for some totally not completely obvious reason. Cough, human dishonesty, cough. Along with sharing the fun rituals that involve mysteriously received treats and gifts with their kids, while sometimes the fun is just in the searching and finding of the treats and gifts. The entire video game industry has this human instinct of ours to thank. Oversharing, who would blame a parent from sharing the fun, happy ghosts, oversharing the story of an angry, vengeful ghost who hates everything you do, but demands your love like a pathetic bully who never even bothered to attempt to earn it, and will most likely still punish you when you give in to its demands, like the nice little rape victim that religion expects us all to be. You know? and then get disproportionately angry when their kids question their magical long time ago stories, obvious plot holes. Who wants to associate with such an abusive, neglectful loser who has to rely on dishonesty to maintain his power? It's the God of the Bible, folks. I never really missed God, but I sure miss Santa Claus. Hole, Courtney Love. I've always loved that line. But I'm honestly not sure what I will do when I have kids and Santa and the Easter Bunny come up. I suppose I'll still play it up because it's fun. It is fun. Until they're old enough to see through it. Maybe it can serve as that important lesson for their lives. Don't just believe in stories about invisible beings just because adults have told you. Humans will lie to make themselves feel good. Humans will lie to gain upper hand on people. Watch out for that. Look into everything that you're told. Question everything and everyone.